Good morning, my students. How are you today? Today, we will start with a new lesson, which is 10,000. First of all, let's see together what does 10,000 mean. Here, I prepared a group of money here, as you see, the Lebanese 1,000. As you see, this is the Lebanese 1,000 money. So when we have 10 like this, yani 10th from the 1,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 from the 1,000, we get this one, which is the 10,000. So each one, 10 1,000 give me 10,000. This one, the orange. And one thing else here, we have also the 100,000, and the 100,000, where does it come from? Each 10,000 from this one, each 10 from this 10, yani when we have 10, 10,000, yani 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 from the 10,000, they give me this one, which is the 100,000. Today we are going to talk more about 10,000 and 100,000 and how can we see them in the place value table. First of all, let's get to know more about 10,000. As you see here, this is the 10,000. When we have two from this 10,000, we get 20,000. Let's see here. These are revision. Of course, all of you know them. 9 plus 1, it's 10. What about 99 plus 1? Of course, it's 100. What about 999 plus 1, which is 1,000? Then we have 9,999 plus 1. Here comes the 10,000, which is our new lesson. Here we are going to see where does 10,000 come from. يعني, how many hundreds do they form the 10,000? From 100, from how many hundreds does it form? It's formed from 100 hundreds. Each 100 hundred, they give me the 10,000. And they said that it's formed from 10,000. We explained it before here that the 10,000, it comes from 10 from this 1,000. Yani when we have 10 from the 1,000, we get the 10,000. And also they are asking about the tens. From how many tens does it form the 10,000? It's formed from 1,000 tens. 1,000 tens. And now this is the last one. 9,000 plus what gives me 10,000? 9,000 plus 1,000. Now we will start here with numbers greater than 10,000. Here we have 10,000 plus 1. What does it give me, this number? Let's write it here and read it together, okay? Let's try to read it together. As we used to do before, we should put the comma. We put the comma here, you see. We read this part alone and this part alone. How do we read this part? It's only 10. Then what about comma? We said that comma, we read it as 1,000. 10,000, then 1. What about 10,000 plus 45? It means 10,045. Also, let's read it together. How do we read this number? I will write it here. Of course, we don't have to forget to put the comma here. I read this part. It's 10,045. Now, let's complete. We have to read this number now. How do we read this number? Put the comma here. 10,503. And as you see here, this is the expanded form, okay? The expanded form of this number. And this number is formed from 10,000, from 500, and from 3. Now we should write this number. Here there is a mistake. We are going to cross this 0. What is the 10,000 here? It's 1. What about the 1,000? It is 7. The 100, it's 2. The tens is 4 and the ones is 1. We read the number as 17,241. Let's complete expanding this number. I want to tell you something important here. When you want to expand the number, yani you start with 7. You count how many digits do I have after 7? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 digits. So I put 4 zeros. Now, what about 4? Let's count how many digits do we have after 4. 1, 2, 3. So we have to put 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. Now it's the turn of 6. How many digits do we have after 6? We have 2. So we should just put 2 zeros. What about 8? After 8, we just have 1 digit. So we put 1 0. Of course, it stands. It has only 1 0. Here we have to add one more space for the ones, which is 5. 5 doesn't have any 0 because it is ones. Now let's solve this one together. Let's start with the 3. How many digits after 3 do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to put 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. What about 6? After 6, how many digits do we have? 1, 2, 3. So we put the 3 zeros because 6 is 1,000. Now 1. What about 1? After 1, we have 2 digits. We put 2 zeros. The second one, after this one, we have 1 digit, yani 1 0. And finally, for the ones, it's 2. We write 2. Now, how do we read this number? I will write it bigger here so we can read it together. Now, let's put the comma. Of course, the comma is here. We read this part alone. 36,112. Let me remind you with the place value. What is the place value of these two? Ones, tens, hundred. Okay, so here we have again ones, tens, hundred. Also in the thousand, the same. We have 1,000, 10,000. And if we have more one digit here, I read it as 100,000. Each class has 3 digits. Ones, tens, hundred. Ones, tens, hundred. Here 100 is 0. We don't have yan. One more time. Ones, tens, hundred. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. Let's move now also for this activity in our books. Here we have to read these numbers. As you see here, it's a place value table. It's divided like this. Here's the ones class. As I told you, we have ones, tens, hundred. Also in the thousand class, we have ones, tens, hundred. Okay. So in the ones class, we have 3 digits, ones, tens, hundred. And in the thousand, we have ones, tens, hundred. When it's empty, it means that the 100,000 is 0. Let's start reading with the first number. We read each class by itself. And we read the thousand here alone, and we read the ones here alone. And when we want to divide them here, we say the word thousand. And here as a comma, as if there is a comma, we say the word thousand. So let's read 57,382, 40,237. 60,008. Here we have hundreds. So how do we read it? We read it as we used to read the first lesson in our book. We read it as 100. Don't say the word thousand at all until you finish reading it all. 154,345. So this is how we read these numbers. Now we are going to write these numbers in the place value table. Let's start with the first one. We should start with ones, okay? From here, from the ones. The ones is 4. I'm reading this number. I'm writing this number, okay? What is the tens? The tens is 6. What about the 100? It is 7. I'm done now with the ones class. I will start with the thousand. Which one is the 1,000? It's 5. The 10,000 is 8. Let's move now for the second number, this one. What is the ones? It's 2. The tens is 4. The 100 is 3. What about the 1,000? It's 5. And the 10,000 is 7. We don't have 100,000. We can put 0 if we want. Okay, this 0 is unnecessary. We will complete with the third number. Where is the ones here? It's 5. The tens is 0. The 100 is 0. We are done with the ones class. We will start with the thousand class. The 1,000 is 9. 10,000 is 9. We have no 100,000. We will start with the last number. The ones is 9. The tens is 0. 100 is 4. We are done with the ones class. Let's move now for the thousand. Where is the 1,000? It is 7 and sorry, it is 0. And the 10,000 is 7. The 100,000 here is 1. So we have 100,000. Let's read this number together. We read it as 170,000. Of course, here we divide them. There is 1,000. 409. Let's read the first number also. 85,764. This one, 75,342. 99,005. This is everything for today. Stay safe. Thank you for your listening. Goodbye.